Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Little Yellow House Crafts. My name is Nell. If you're new, welcome. If you've been around for a while, welcome back. I am here to do a little bit of an update and share some exciting news with you that I'm sure some of you have been waiting for, and to share a little bit of haul that I've picked up over the last few weeks. Had some interesting things happen and gave me an opportunity to purchase some stuff that I'm kind of excited to show you. I first want to apologize for my voice and my appearance a little bit. Whatever, who cares, right? I am suffering from some pretty severe allergies right now, and 2 days ago I woke up with my left eye completely swollen shut. My voice has been in and out for about 4 or 5 days now, which if you've been watching my channel, you know that my show opens this week, Wednesday night, and my voice, but don't worry, it'll be fine. So I want to apologize if I clear my throat through the video. I can try to edit them out, but thank you for bearing with me. I didn't want to put a lot of eye makeup on while my eyes are still a little puffy. So those of you who suffer from allergies, solidarity. We will make it through springtime. But first things first, thank you all for being so patient over the last 2 weeks or so as I have been frantically putting together what is now my Facebook shop. Ladies and gentlemen, it is open for business. I can't believe I'm doing this. So yes, my Facebook shop, in which I will be selling project bags and Grime Guards, is now open for business. So I'm going to leave the information in the description box below so you can just click over and it'll link you right to it. But if you search on Facebook for the group Little Yellow House Crafts, just like my YouTube channel, I thought let's keep it simple, easy to find. There's a Facebook group now called Little Yellow House Crafts. It is a closed group, so you have to request to be added, but I'll add you. I'm going to add everybody who requests it, don't worry. That's just so that we don't get random people, you know what I mean, you know. It is a closed book, so you'll have to request to be added. Once I have added you, then you can access all of the pictures. If you go on that Facebook group page, if you go to the photos tab, there will be, and then click on albums, there will be an album for each of the sizes of bags I'm selling, as well as each of the sizes of Grime Guards. So they're organized by size, and I'm going to show you some examples here of the project bags. And it'll work just like a lot of the needle minder groups work, where there's a picture, and if you like it, you want to purchase it, underneath you just say "me please," and then once you're finished shopping, you send me a private message with your PayPal email and your shipping address, and I will make up an invoice, have that sent to you through PayPal to your email. Once you pay the invoice, then I'll ship them out. All of the information is on the Facebook group. Under the Files tab, you can find the shipping information, what to expect. There will be a file up soon about custom order requests and how I'm going to handle those. I've already had a few people ask about special custom requests, and so maybe in a future video I'll talk a little bit about that. I have found a way to source custom printed fabric. Ooh, right? So if there's something that you specifically would like and we can't find fabric for it, then I have that option. And so that will be something I can address in a future video. I'm not ready to start custom orders quite yet, but if that is something you think you'd be interested in the future, then keep watching. Let's see, I don't think I have any other general stuff. Just go and join the group and start shopping. I'm already working on the next batch of bags and Grime Guards that will be going up. This first batch that's already posted is what's for sale now, but the idea is to keep bringing in new products. So keep an eye on the group. It should be really, really fun. I'm looking forward to this. It's an adventure for all of us. So let me show you the sizes that I have available. I have 4 sizes that I finally settled on, and you're gonna laugh, but I'm a sucker for alliteration. So we have what I'm calling my bitty bag, then we have my big bag, which is the original size that I showed in my last video, a bigger bag, and a biggest bag. Okay, so we have the bitty, the big, the bigger, and the biggest. And let me show you what they look like. The bitty bag is an 8 by 10 bag, and you can see it is a little bit smaller than the last one. This one is sized for a 6x6 Q-snap. So the smallest size that Q-snap makes is a 6x6, and this bag is to fit that. It's made exactly the same way as the last ones that I showed, my original big bag. They're lined. Everything about them is exactly the same. They're just smaller, and I think they're adorable. They're so cute. Even if you don't stitch with a 6x6 Q-snap, these make adorable little, I don't know, travel bags. You can put your makeup in here. They're so cute, and they're machine washable. So that is the Biddy bag. That's an 8x10 bag, and it fits a 6x6 Q-snap. The next size up is what I'm calling my big bag, or the original bag. This is an 11x14 bag that is sized to fit an 8x8 Q-snap. And this is the size. Isn't this fabric fantastic? This, like I said before, 11x14 inches, fits an 8x8 Q-snap. It's exactly like the ones I showed in my last video. I love that lining fabric, pink and gold. Guys, you're gonna love the fabrics that I have available. So that is the big bag. Oh, let me talk about prices. Sorry, back up. Some of you warned me that you thought $15 was not gonna be quite enough, and it turns out you were right. I did have to increase my price just a tiny bit, and that's because there were a lot of hidden costs. You know, when I was selling this size, the big bag, for $15, it didn't quite cover everything that I needed it to cover. So I have increased the price just a tiny bit. I hope that you'll still think these are good value. I had to decrease it by $3. So now instead of $15, the big bags, the original big bags, are $18. And let me go back, the Biddy bags will be selling for $14, okay? So Biddy bag, $14. The big bag is $18. Excuse me. Oh, the next size up that I have is a 14x16 bag, and this is to fit an 11x11 Q-snap. This is my chicken print. It's called Free Range Chickens, and you can see there's little red chickens. This bag, you can see it's quite a bit bigger than the other two. This bag fits an 11x11 plus some extra space. And that is what I'm calling my bigger bag, okay? And that one will be selling for $22. Basically, each size up is another $4. So this is $22 for this bigger bag. And these aren't the only ones I have. I have, you know, this print in other sizes. I have those other prints in other sizes. There's a nice selection for you to shop from. And then the last one, and I'm probably gonna have to back up to be able to show you this. This is what I'm calling my biggest bag. This bag is a 14x22 inch bag, and that is to fit 11x17 Q-snaps. I had several people ask about something to fit their 11x17s. I know a lot of people, as I mentioned in my last video, like to stitch their Heaven and Earth designs or Tilton Crafts that style, or even their Mirabilia, some of their bigger projects, on 11x17 Q-snaps. And most people have a hard time finding something other than a pillowcase to store them in. And so this is my biggest bag in the most popular print from my last video. This, as I said before, is a 14x22 inch bag in the Keep Calm and Craft On print. Just like the others, nice zipper, lined, and this is to store your 11x17s, and this one will be selling for $26. So that is my biggest bag, and those are the sizes. Like I said before, these are not the only bags I have in each of these sizes. I have quite a stack. I think I have close to 30 bags right now that are on the Facebook page ready to be sold, and I'm working on my next batch, so there's no shortage. Happy shopping. With the Grime Guards, I have currently Grime Guards made for 6x6 Q-snaps, 8x8, and 11x11. I do not currently have any Q-snaps, Grime Guards, made and ready for 11x17s. I have waited to do that one because I wanted to ask your opinion. All of my other Q-snap Grime Guards are the same width, meaning, you know, the part of the fabric that goes around the Q-snap is the same size. And it's a good size, in my opinion, where it will contain all of your fabric, but it won't encroach too far down on your stitching space, if you can kind of picture what I'm describing. With an 11 by 17 Grime Guard, what my question is, would you like the fabric to be wider than most Grime Guards? And this is my reasoning. Most things that you stitch on 11 by 17 are on really big, massive pieces of fabric. And with all that extra fabric, there might be a need to have a little extra wiggle room for all of that excess fabric that we're rolling up and keeping under the Grime Guard. So I have the option of adding another inch or two lengthwise to go around it, as well as maybe another inch widthwise, which will only add about half an inch on either side. It will encroach, you know, half an inch further in on your stitching space. But if those of you who stitch on 11 by 17s feel like that's something that would be valuable to have a little bit more coverage in those biggest size Grime Guards, please let me know down below. I haven't stitched any up yet because I really wasn't sure about that. So let me know your opinions, but there are other Grime Guards. Most of them coordinate with the bags. They're the same fabric, so you can buy a coordinating Grime Guard if you purchase a fabric bag, if that's something that interests you. But it's all a la carte. You can pick whatever you want. So thanks for all your support, and go shopping. You know, please let your other stitchy friends know that the store is open for business. If you purchase a bag from me and you make videos, please tell people where you got it. I'm not doing a whole lot of advertising other than word of mouth. We'll see. I might contact some of the administrators of some of the cross-stitch Facebook groups to set up a giveaway with members of those Facebook groups to kind of get my name out there. But if you know other people who love to stitch, please let them know that the shop is open, and they're welcome to request to be added, and I'll add them right in. So that is my first bit of exciting information. Yay, my shop is finally open. So excited. Let's talk about stitching. Unfortunately, in the last 2.5 weeks, my stitching has kind of dropped off dramatically. That's because I've been sewing like a mad woman, getting all of these bags and Grime Guards ready for the shop to open. So I have not had a ton of stitching, but I did get one finish down, and that is my Advent Animals. This is Cassie Cow, number 14. Hoop marks. Haven't ironed her yet. So she is done, one finish, and I am nearly done. It's now June 6th. I am late on getting these guys done, but I'm nearly done with Rascal Raccoon. All that's left is the number, a few snowflakes, and then the snow at the bottom and the border that goes all the way around. So he should be done soon, I hope. I don't know. My stitching has dropped off dramatically, and I think until I get into a good rhythm with this Facebook shop, until I know how much I need to be sewing to keep it stocked, my stitching's probably going to have to take second priority until we fall into a good rhythm. Once we fall into a good rhythm and I kind of know about how fast I need to be sewing to keep up with demand, then I'll be able to pick up my cross-stitching more, and I'm hoping to find a good balance, but I'm just so excited about this that I don't mind too terribly much. So that's all I have to show you stitching-wise. Oh, shameful. But I do have some haul, and this is a fun haul. There's some really interesting and fun things in here, so let's get started with that. In my last video, I mentioned that I had placed an order with Julie from Nifty Needle Nannies for a few needle minders. She was generous enough to send me a few needle minders as a gift when she won my giveaway and she received my package, which of course was extremely sweet of her. But to express appreciation and to support small businesses, here I am starting a small business, so we want to support that. I decided to go ahead and place an order myself, and I picked 3 more, and you guys are gonna laugh. I am such a nerd. It's okay. I know I'm not the only one, so that makes me feel better. But I ordered 3, 2 of which are Doctor Who needle minders. I ordered a TARDIS, and this is a little swirl, and on it, if you know Nifty Needle Nannies, you know what it says, but it says wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff, and that's a quote from Doctor Who. It's a very famous quote and a very funny one. And then this is a little Ireland flag. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that my husband and I went to Ireland together. My husband is Irish. We went to Ireland to visit, where all of his ancestors are from and are still buried in the churchyards. It's amazing. But we have very fond memories and ties with Ireland, and so I got a little Ireland flag. So those are my needle minders from Nifty Needle Nannies. I love them. I'm the world's biggest dork, but my deep and abiding love for all things Doctor Who knows no bounds. So no shame. So that is the first part of my haul. The second part, this is an order I placed back in April. It's been a while. Some of you may remember that Brooks Books Publishing, her Etsy store, Brooke Nolan's Etsy store, had a 50% off sale. She was trying to kind of clear out some old merchandise, make room for some new stuff, and so she had, on her Etsy store, she had a 50% off sale, and I had been waiting for a good time to purchase these 4 charts for over a year now. And was just waiting for a good sale, and of course here's a half off sale, who can resist? So I did finally purchase the 4 charts from her Once Upon a Stitch line of the 4 Little Women. You may know that Little Women is my favorite book. I've read it a million times, but I got the 4 Little Women. So if you haven't seen these, this is what they are, and they're so cute. Here's Meg March. And this is Jo. I love Jo's dress. That's Jo March. Here's Beth. Oh, sweet Beth. Beth March. And the most perfect version of her I could ever imagine, it's Amy March. With her blonde curls and a froofy pink dress. I feel a special affection for Amy March because I see a lot of myself in her, a little bit dramatic, very feminine, and a little, I don't know. I love Amy. Honestly, I feel the most like, of all the March sisters, I know Jo is our heroine, and, everyone loves Jo March. But honestly, the ones I feel like I relate to the most are kind of a weird combination of Meg, the oldest, and Amy, the youngest. If you could kind of smash those two together, you have a pretty good representation of my personality. But anyway, so I got my March sisters. I've been wanting that forever, and that 50% off sale was just too good to resist. It took a little while to come, but she warned, there was a notice on her Etsy shop that it was going to take a little while because very overwhelming, I'm sure, with all the orders that came in. But they did finally come, and I love them. They're perfect. I can't wait to stitch them someday. The next thing is that this past weekend we had a family reunion down in Arkansas. My husband's family, nobody lives in Arkansas, but it was just kind of a good place that was like equal distance for everyone to meet in the middle, kind of. So we ended up in Arkansas. And on our way down, we drove through Branson, Missouri, which is kind of a fun little town in southern Missouri. And there's an L&S in Branson, Missouri called Cecelia Samplers. And I've known that it was there for a long time, but it's, a couple hours drive from my house, and I just could never justify the trip. But as we were passing through Branson, I told my husband, we are stopping for lunch in Branson, and I'm going to go shopping. You can take the kids to a park and play, and I'm going to go shop. So I visited Cecelia Samplers, and lovely little store. Every stitcher's dream, really, and they were so cute. They gave me this little purple bag to take my purchases in. It says Cecelia Samplers. It's got their information on the bottom. I just thought that was so fun. Little bag to put my shopping in. They threw in a couple little extras. They threw in a little pattern that I can't show you. Some information. They host stitching retreats at Cecelia Samplers, and they have the information on their stitching retreats. And I just wanted to mention this. If any of you are within driving distance of Branson, Missouri, and are interested, they have, let's see, coming up this year, they have a stitching retreat with Amy Brukin, the designer. She's coming. And then this fall in September, they're having quite a few designers coming to teach at that stitching retreat, and they include Sue Hillis, Janice Note, Mendy Cannon, who will be teaching Brazilian embroidery, Maureen Appleton Sorensen, and Donna Olson, who will be teaching hardanger. And they're having a couple vendors come. Looks like it's going to be really fun. So go to their website if you're interested in attending a stitching retreat down in Branson. That's something I might do someday. I don't know if I'll do it this year because we're going to be a little bit busy in September, but I didn't realize they did stitching retreats, and they're within driving distance for me. So, and then they gave me just a little packet, a pen and a calendar and a little ruler and some nice little bits and pieces. But this is what I purchased at Cecelia Samplers. The first one, this is something I've wanted for a while. This is Little House Needleworks Battle Hymn of the Republic. And you guys know I'm a sucker for anything American themed. But this is the hymn, Battle Hymn of the Republic, and on it, it says 1861, which is, I believe, the year that that song was written. And it says, "Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on." And that hymn is kind of a marching hymn from American history, and so I just thought that was really pretty. So I picked that up, and then I only bought one other thing, but it's big. It's big, and I'm really excited about it. They had kits of some of the past Lizzie Kate mystery samplers from the past few years, and they had them kitted up all ready to go, and so I purchased one of those. This is the mystery sampler from Lizzie Kate from, I don't remember, I think from maybe 2014. It was a couple years ago. It's a Halloween themed one. It doesn't say on here when it was from, but it's the Very Scary Mystery Sampler Club. And so the kit that Cecelia Samplers had made up had all 3 charts for that mystery sampler with the little embellishment packs. You can see down here, oh, there it is. This part 2 has a little key and a star, and then part 1 and 3 has stars and little amber beads. So they come with the patterns and the embellishments. Oh, and this is what it looks like. This is the pattern on part 3. The mystery sampler, and it says from ghosties and ghoulies and things that go bump in the night, deliver us. Love that. It's so cute. So parts 1, 2, and 3 of the pattern and the embellishments, as well as the fabric to stitch it on. This is a linen in the color Tin Roof, I believe. That's the fabric to stitch it on, and all of the threads. Ooh, 19 Weeks Dye Works. Ladies and gentlemen, I bought hand-dyed threads. What? I'm kind of anxious about it. I'm gonna sit back up again. Oh, sorry. I'm kind of anxious about it, but also a little bit excited. You guys have all been so sweet, you know, talking to me about my phobia of hand-dyed everything. And here I am jumping in with both feet. It just was, they had the model stitch up and it was so pretty. And I was like, you know what, this is ridiculous. I'm going to try it. I'm just going to go for it. And since it was a kit, I didn't have to like go and find all of them. It came with all of them. So these are all, I twiddled them myself. I just, you know. It was a little messy and I wanted them to be neater. So these are all the Weeks Dye Works that you need to stitch this mystery sampler. I'm not going to read all the colors, but we got honeysuckle, guacamole, bright leaf, Havana, dirt road, grapevine, carrot, onyx, loden, just lots of really pretty colors. So it came with all of those. And then on top of it all, each of the 3 mystery sampler parts had their, you know, their part of the actual sampler and an additional mini chart to stitch. And when they kitted up the whole set at Cecelia's Samplers, they included everything you would need to stitch those 3 little minis as well. And so they included 1 skein of Weeks Dye Works in the color Coal, which is the color you need for all 3, and then a small little piece of orange linen for one of them, and then a small little piece of purple and a small little piece of green. And so those 3 colors are for the 3 little mini patterns that come in the mystery sampler patterns, and then the Weeks Dye Works to stitch them, which I thought was such a nice little touch. They didn't just kit up the main project, they gave you everything to do everything in the whole set. So I bought that. I bought that little kit, and I am really excited. I am nervous about stitching with hand-dyed fibers. The nice thing about the Weeks Dye Works, and I've said this before, that if I was ever going to venture into hand-dyed, I would probably start with Weeks Dye Works or Gentle Arts or something like that, because the variations tend to be kind of subtle, and we're not going from like orange to purple. We're going from like light orange to slightly darker light orange. It's very subtle shading on this coloring, but I'm really excited. So that was my little purchase from from Cecelia Samplers, my mystery sampler club. I had a wonderful experience at the LNS. I'm really excited to stitch that up, so that was fun. The last part of my haul, and the last thing I'm going to show in this video, is I've never had very good luck on Craigslist or in thrift stores finding good cross-stitchy stuff, but I finally did have some luck. A lady in my town posted on Craigslist a large amount of cross-stitch stuff, and she wasn't real specific. She just lists, large quantity of cross-stitch patterns, contact for more information. So I did. Turns out she inherited a load of cross-stitch stuff, mostly patterns and magazines, from a lady that she bought a sewing machine from. This lady sold her the sewing machine and sent her, when she picked up the sewing machine, the lady gave her probably 25 years of cross-stitching magazines and other patterns. And she's not a stitcher, so she wasn't going to keep them, so she listed them, and I went and, guys, probably close to 500 stitching magazines. And I'm not even exaggerating. Boxes and boxes of them. And I went with my husband and my boys, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to start. I can't stay and go through all of them because I got my little kids here, but I did pull out a few and bought those from her, and I'm actually going back tomorrow for a more extensive dig through them. But I wanted to show you just the few that I pulled out. First, I went through some of her patterns. She had a couple binders full of just charts, and I pulled some out. This is the Prairie Schooler, and this is one that's out of print, I believe. This is called the Garden Samplers, and I believe this guy's out of print. So that was a little gem, and she charged me like 50 cents for each of these things, guys. So I grabbed that, thought that was really pretty. There's 3 samplers. The first one says, "A seed or two from me to you." The second one says, "The flowers appear on the earth, the time of the singing birds is come." And then the third one says, "Into your garden you can walk, and with each plant and flower talk." And they're just little samplers, Prairie Schooler. They're beautiful. This next one is from Cross and Patch, who is a lady who also does Hardanger. She does cross-stitch and Hardanger. And I bought, about 6 months ago, off of eBay, a Hardanger pattern that was one of hers, and it says Joy. It's a Christmas one, and it has Hardanger at the bottom. This is one that kind of goes with it, and this lady had it in her pattern stash, and it says Noel. And it has the Hardanger underneath, and I just think those are beautiful. The designer's name, I believe, is Emmy Bishop, and if you like Hardanger, she does gorgeous things, especially Christmas ones. Here's some different ways you can stitch it, but I bought that. This one I haven't seen before. This one looks like it came from the magazine Just Cross Stitch. I guess Just Cross Stitch used to sell just charts as well. And this is from their anniversary collection, 10 years of Just Cross Stitch. This one's called Merry Christmas by Angela Pullen. It says, "We wish you a Merry Christmas." And this one reminds me a lot of the one I started for Stitch Mania, "'Twas the Night" by Sue Hillis. It's kind of a similar idea with the words and then the border with holly berries and ribbon and stuff like that. So anyway, that's "We Wish You a Merry Christmas." This one is a Prim design from Homespun Elegance, and it's called the Prim and Proper Collection, The Sheltering Tree. And I love that. Isn't that beautiful? You can stitch it this way that has a house underneath it, or you can turn it on its side without the house and stitch it as a pillow. And I just think that's really pretty. So that's The Sheltering Tree by, doesn't say, but it's by Homespun Elegance. Designed by Sandra Sullivan. So then I did grab a few magazines, only 2, because I just did not have time to go through all of them because that would have just taken forever, and I had my boys with me. But this is the Cross Stitcher from October 2003, and there was one design in here that I loved, and it's called the Harvest Home Sampler. And I'm probably going to change the colors on this just a tad. I love the design. The colors are a little wishy-washy for me, so I'm probably going to bold it up a little bit, but this is it. And this is another hymn, and it's a Thanksgiving hymn. It says, "Come ye thankful people, come, raise the song of harvest home. All is safely gathered in ere the winter storms begin. God our Maker doth provide for our wants to be supplied. Come to God's own temple, come, raise the song of harvest home." And I think that's beautiful. This has a bunch of specialty stitches in it. I just think that's so pretty. So if you like that, the Cross Stitcher, October 2003. Harvest Home Sampler. So I grabbed that one just for that one pattern. I flipped through it. There's really nothing else in the magazine that I want to stitch, but that one I love. And then this is from the magazine Cross Stitch Sampler from Christmas 1991. Oh boy. And I got this for the cover pattern. This is, they call it the Rose Nativity. The Rose Nativity, the designer, Marianne Morick is her name, and this is what it looks like. It's a kind of a folk art nativity scene, an American folk art, which I love. I think that is so pretty. We've got Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. We've got angels. We have the 3 wise men, a shepherd, some sheep, and the little drummer boy, which I love that they threw that in. I just think that's beautiful. So that's the Rose Nativity by Marianne Morick from Cross Stitch Sampler, Christmas 1991. So I grabbed that. There's a few other nice things in that magazine, but honestly, I just want to stitch the Nativity. And then this last one, not only did she have piles and piles and piles of magazines, but she also had some keepsake calendars that come from the magazine Cross Stitch and Needlework. And those calendars, you know, have a pattern for every month for the year. And I grabbed this one for the cover picture again, because that's the kind of time crunch I was in. I was just looking for stuff that I like the cover picture. But this is the keepsake calendar from Cross Stitch and Needlework for 2007, and this is the cover picture. This is their July pattern. God Bless America. And it's, again, kind of a folk art, country, bright colors. It's very up my alley. It's very appropriate for me. Victorian house. It looks like it's a 4th of July celebration. The people look like they're dressed kind of Victorian, maybe even before Victorian. This might be mid-1800s to late 1800s. But I loved that. And so it came with a whole slew of patterns. And I'm looking here at the back for all the different patterns for the months. There's some really fun ones. This one's adorable. I don't think I'll stitch it, but this little Halloween kitty, I think that's a... What's her name? Don't you hate that? What is her name? Joan Elliott. Oh, there it is. That's a Joan Elliott, that little Halloween kitty. But anyway, there's some fun stuff in there, and she had a whole bunch more of these keepsake calendars. So like I said, I'm going back tomorrow, and I might pick up a few more things. And when I say few, I mean probably more than I should, because you know what, 25 to 50 cents a piece, who could say no? So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you're excited about my Facebook store opening up. I'm really excited, so head on over there and go shopping. Hopefully I'll have more stitching for you next time, but who knows, if this thing goes crazy and people are really excited to purchase project bags and Grime Guards, then I might be sewing like a crazy lady for a bit while longer until the fervor dies down. So we'll just kind of see. If it doesn't go crazy, then I'll cross stitch again and it'll be great. You guys are awesome. Thank you all for your support and your kind words. Welcome if you're a new subscriber. I hope you enjoy my videos. If you have any questions or comments, as always, please leave them down below. I will put my information in the description box for my Facebook store, as well as any other pertinent information. But you guys are great. Have a great stitchy month. Hopefully I will see you again before too much longer, but it's going to be crazy around here for the next 3 weeks because my show opens this week. And so until that is done, it's going to be wild, but it's going to be great. So thanks, guys, and I'll catch you real soon, okay? Bye!